Hello, everyone. Once again, this is Ryan Clay with another interview for menhavesecrets.com. And today I have with me Michael. Michael's on the phone with me. Michael, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, Michael is with me today, and he's just going to share some information on some of the secrets that men have that they ordinarily wouldn't share with a woman. So, Michael, I know that we had a brief conversation prior, so I just wanted to ask you a few questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, cool. Let me just start by asking you, what type of things will a guy never tell a woman?
A guy won't tell a woman when he does not have true respect for her, or if he does not have intentions to develop relationship with her. A man will never reveal to the woman that he truly doesn't respect her or desire to have any sort of real relationship with her.
So let me ask you this. What would it be? Like, what would the time be spent with her? Because she may be thinking serious, but what would that be to the man?
To the man, he might just be viewing it as just a casual relationship, more of a physical relationship, and while she's viewing it as a potentially real relationship, he's just viewing it as a casual physical relationship.
If a woman sleeps with you on the first date, like, how does that make you feel?
Well, I think a lot of men look for that. Sometimes they're out looking for an easy conquest like that, but it is often a double-edged sword in that if you do find a woman that will do that or is willing to do that, that it's difficult to ever have real respect for her. That image of her being easy like that will persist, and it's difficult to have any true respect for her, and it's difficult to develop any sort of meaningful relationship. I think that when you encounter a woman that sleeps with you on a first date, that's a type of relationship that's destined to be a physical relationship, because it's very difficult to establish any sort of respect for the woman after that.
Now, I know we had a little just brief talk prior, and you had said something about like an ex. Like, why would you try to learn about a woman's ex?
Well, if a woman has had a serious ex and you're about to enter a relationship with her or are in a relationship with her, I would want to learn about her ex to figure out what kind of guy he was, and whether or not I'm similar to that or not, and try to learn what kind of problems there were in that relationship, and whose fault that was, if it was something that she did or something that he did, and doing that with the idea that it might be useful as I embark on a relationship with a woman. It might indicate to me where some trouble areas could be, and it might indicate to me that if I'm completely different from the other type of guys that she's been with, that would make me worry a little bit that the relationship just isn't going to last. And if I learned, for instance, that she had cheated on him, then that would concern me a lot. That would make me have difficulty trusting her, and would make me be concerned about trust issues, whether if she had been in a relationship where she had cheated. And conversely, if the man had cheated on her, or if the man was abusive to her, then that might be helpful for me too, as she reveals some of her peculiarities. That might give some insight into why she behaves the way that she does.
Very interesting. Let me go on to this question, because I know we talked about this. A lot of women feel that men don't need to feel desired, or we don't, we're kind of tough and don't have feelings. What's your take on that? Like, if a woman doesn't, desire you?
Well, I think every man wants to be desired, physically desired, and desired emotionally as well, but specifically physically desired, that a man wants to feel wanted by the woman. And in particular for younger guys, or for guys that are halfway decent looking, if um, it, there are always women out there that are willing to give you attention regardless of your relationship status. And if in your relationship you feel like she could take it or leave it, any sort of physical intimacy, then it becomes much more difficult to ignore those advances from other women. So I think that if the man doesn't feel desired, if he doesn't feel like she's interested in having physical contact with him, if he feels like she's just doing it because she's obligated to, then the following week when the woman at the office or the woman at the restaurant flirts with him a little bit, he's going to be a lot more likely to flirt back, and that can lead to some dangerous grounds. And it's we often assume that women can get can get it whenever they want to, but a lot of guys can too. And we reject advances out of respect for our partners, but we do have physical needs, and if they're not being met, then it's very tempting to go and seek out having those needs met elsewhere.
That's interesting because my next question was, what makes a guy cheat, or what would cause you basically to cheat? And I know you touched on that a little bit. Could you elaborate some more, maybe?
Well, what makes a guy cheat? I think one is just the excitement of feeling desired, in a relationship, especially when the physical intimacy and the novel excitement of that wanes. A man is always looking for that, and after it could be just a few rejected advances with his partner, he will be very tempted to look for that elsewhere. And when there's another woman out there that's offering that sort of attention, I think that's where the man is tempted to cheat. If there are, I'll use the term at home, whether it's a married relationship or a live-in relationship or just a serious boyfriend girlfriend type relationship. But if there are problems at home and the man's not getting his sexual needs met, then I think he's likely to seek out having those met somewhere else. So the opportunity to have those sexual desires satisfied somewhere is what causes a lot of men to cheat.
All right. Well, I mean, since you brought up the sexual side, the bedroom. What could a girl possibly do to keep, I guess, the flames going, or a guy from cheating, or even maybe maybe talking. Let's just use talking. Like, what could she do in the bedroom, talk or to say to you?
Well, I think one is to be vocal, and during the act of making love, to make it sound like she's excited and like she's enjoying herself. So if she's vocal, if she's moaning, I think that adds some excitement. I think if your partner talks dirty to you, tells you what it is that she's wanting and what she desires and how that it feels good, that makes a man feel good and appreciated as well. I think that it's beneficial every once in a while for the man to walk in the door and to have the woman pounce on him and to act like she can't keep her hands off of him. For men, we have that inherently where we want to have our hands on the woman all the time, and it's nice to have the woman as the aggressor, because that makes us feel like she actually desires us. So if she's acting as the aggressor on occasion, if she's vocal and vocalizes her excitement and her desire for you, if she can speak a little bit differently in the bedroom than that sort of an intimate language between the two of you, I think that those are all things that can help keep that spark going.
That's interesting. So that would basically be like turn-ons. What would you consider to be turn-offs?
Um, I think a turn off would be things like like a basic hygiene. You know, if if she knows that you're coming over, for instance, or if you're taking a trip to see her, and she doesn't go through the effort of showering that morning and shaving, that's a turn off. It makes you feel like she doesn't care, or she's not interested in any of that. If she's if she's not vocal at all, if she just lies there um, while having sex, and that's a turn off as well, because then it feels like she's just doing something out of obligation, and that's a major turn off for me. I want to be involved in a situation where both of us are enjoying ourselves, and if it doesn't sound like, if it doesn't appear that she's enjoying herself, then that's a major turn off for me as well. And then anything that she might do to make you feel like what you're requesting or desiring is dirty or somehow immoral, that's a big turn off too. I don't think that the woman has to agree to every sexual activity that you propose, but if you suggest something, say, well, I'd like to try it this way, or can you put on this, I bought you this lingerie, can you wear it for me? And if she says, no, I'm not going to wear that, you're just a horn dog, and go take a cold shower, that's a major turn off, and can cause some serious problems.
Interesting, interesting. Now I know we also spoke, and you said that guys can tell if a woman has low self-esteem, and will also take advantage of her. What did you mean by that?
Well, a man that's just looking for sex, just looking for physical satisfaction. If you're in in a bar or something like that, you can look for the hottest girl in the room, but if she knows that she's hot, your chances are much less. Um, you have a much lower chance of being successful at um, at scoring with that woman than you would if it was a woman that is decent looking, but you can tell that she's a kind of self-conscious. Maybe she's kind of on the not not a supermodel size, or maybe wears some baggy clothes because she's self-conscious about some part of her body, something like that. And if you find a woman like that, is kind of self-conscious, and you flatter her, then I think they're much more receptive to your flattery, and you're much more likely to get what you're seeking, if indeed what you're seeking is just sex. If, but if you're looking at the homecoming queen, and she knows that she's hot and she can have anybody in the room, then your chances are much lower. But if a woman with low self-esteem, somebody that has self-image issues, a man can identify that. You could tell just in her mannerism, the way that she talks, the way that she dresses, that she has self-esteem issues, and going and flattering her on is a good way to really score some points with her. And if your goal is just sex, that's a good way to go.
Well, Michael, I do want to say that I appreciate all of your, the questions that you answered. I do have one more question before we go.
Sure.
Wife material. What
Yeah.
does a guy look for in a woman that he wants to be with forever or commit to forever?
Well, I think a guy looking for a lifelong commitment is looking for a woman that is mature, that doesn't drink a lot, doesn't smoke pot and is kind of grown out of that stage of life where they're just interested in hanging out in bars and partying and that type of stuff. I think that wife material is a woman that you can trust completely, that has never given you any reason not to trust her, and a woman that shows a lot of self discipline and self initiation. So if she's a woman that she doesn't necessarily have to be a career woman, but if she needs to get her oil changed in her car, for instance, she does it when it's time to, and doesn't let it go for a year because she just never gets around to things. She doesn't procrastinate and not get around to things. So a woman that is ambitious enough to get things done when she needs to get things done, and is an honest woman and a mature woman.
Amazing, awesome, Michael. I want to say that was a great answer to the question. I believe that even every man, including women who listen to this interview, will definitely benefit from the words of wisdom that you have shared on this interview. Was there anything else that you wanted to say before we go?
Well, I hope that that whoever listens to this or reads it doesn't just assume that I'm a dirty guy. I think that it's important for for the women out there that are listening or reading this to understand that a lot of guys think alike, and so understanding or having some idea of what it is that guys are thinking is going to be beneficial. And we think good things and we think bad things, and what you think might be impressing us might not be impressing us. So you might want to think about that.
Well, thanks again, Michael, and until we talk again, I really appreciate your time. Thanks.
Sure, no problem.